Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsey, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a Philip Lindsey touchdown run. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris. Partner, we had the game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philip Lindsey and the rest of the offense heading back out. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right?
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Philip Lindsey with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind crunch or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. Flacco on the give to Lindsay. And able to break 1 tackle but then quickly brought down. It'll be a pickup of a couple and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Just like that. Just like that.
Now Mahomes completes it to Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. Hardman, the 2nd-round pick out of Georgia, really showcased his speed at the Combine, running a 4.33 40. and should help give Patrick Mahomes another versatile playmaker to work with at the receiver position. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 44 yards. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it first and goal to go. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play, but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
they're focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. The Broncos on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To pass, Flacco, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chris Jones. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the signal.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Sherman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Flacco. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. passing play. Flacco. He's got his tight end fan. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Flacco will take to the air again. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Joe Flacco. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a draw play. This is Sherman, the fullback. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Chiefs on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Looked like he tried it all there, tried to use some physicality, right? Tried to use some footwork, some head fakes, but he was covered the entire way. Dogged in every step. That forced the incompletion. No separation at the end of the route.
Fielded just inside the 20. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Darren Lee there to get him down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Flacco, incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes, the big fella, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. The big boy's big dream right there. He got to rumble and stumble all the way for 6.
Nothing like big man with football, is there? I mean, that brings people onto their feet every single time, and his dream was answered on that one, wasn't it? It was realized. He picks it off and takes it to the end zone.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. And now running right through it. 1:52 to play until halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Flacco. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. On first down, Flacco. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had Thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Mahomes now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now here's Mahomes, and he's going to go down again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is fielded at the 27.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They'll cut down when they're that backed up. You've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. On play action, it's Mahomes.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And again, it's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a first down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mahomes going to throw. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that... And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mahomes, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos are going to get it at the 20. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Damian Wilson in on the stop. On 2nd and 9, Flacco. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarter? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is the fullback, Sherman. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Draymond Jones brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3. Now accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos push further out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
McManus's point after is good, and they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now McCoy. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is fielded inside the 5. And they can't corral him. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more.
Monday, that's left. Kill.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. And here we go.
Another run by Lindsay. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now here comes Kansas City. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 1st down, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Ready? Tight end right. Tight end right. 4 down. 4 down.
Now it's Mahomes again. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marched off another 15 against your squad.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Mahomes giving to Ware on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some drop.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Philip Lindsay, 97 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
McManus now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw again on second down. Mahomes. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Nowhere to his
escape, and he goes down. Draymond Jones in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
That's pulled in at the 32. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Steps away to his left. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton, and that's caught inside the 30.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. Lock going to throw, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes has some fond memories of playing here in Denver. In fact, one of his earliest NFL memories came here in the Mile High City. That was back in the final week of the 2017 season while Alex Smith was resting up for the playoffs. And we got a glimpse of what the young Mahomes could do. He threw for 284 yards in a 27-24 Chiefs victory. That, of course, was the first start of the career for Patrick Mahomes. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we...
Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That's complete right around the 8.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. To throw, it's Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Todd Davis able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Ware. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. The quick slant caught, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down, but congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Hey, Jet!
Mahomes pass complete to Nicole Hartman. Touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So out comes the field goal team once more. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the kick by Butker is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
53, check 53.
They'll go again with Lindsey. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Now they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now here comes Kansas City. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sherman.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call it sack block.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon.